for Doomhammer. Your soul shall be mine.
Yes, chow. Stop the aggression. Ah, it's the zombie chow killer.
I feel icky.
Probably implosion the 3-2. Need to get the damage off.
Don't worry, loves. The cavalry's here.
And the 1/1s are going to be very good. Missing Void Caller for Reno Jackson.
Who's up for an adventure?
Well, never lucky, no hunter. Dagger. Well, dagger's kind of like 2-mana deal too. Come on, Void Caller! Draw Void Caller! Or maybe I'm dead already. Probably not. That's very unlikely. So I need Void Caller, or Taunt, Defender of Argus, Sun Fury, Sludge Belcher.
What to do?
Or Dark Peddler needs to draw Voodoo Doctor, or Earthen Ring Farseer. So that's like 5 out of 20-ish. All the cards in my hand are pretty bad. This might be... It's not very often that I want to play Reno Jackson, but I fail to. So, that's kind of good about this stuff. Oh my gosh. Oh. This is just BM. He has another Shackle again. I'm a shock. Oh my gosh, Void Caller! Give me! Yes!
We're gonna be rich.
I feel icky.
We're rich. If there's more games where I actually have the Reno and I don't, if I still have duplicates in the deck, then it's definitely an encouragement to cut duplicates. But this seemed like a rare occasion. So the thing that I realized about Reno Handlock 1.0 was that, well, the reason why I put in 2 Drake, 2 Void Caller, and 2 Mountain Giant is because I was fearful that it would get to the late game and not have enough stuff to kill anyone. But over the course of the games, that never happened, which means I can afford to cut the Twilight Drake and the Mountain Giant. And if I'm doing that, I might as well cut all the duplicates and cut the Void Caller as well. And if I'm cutting the Void Caller, I might as well cut the Lord, or the Mal'Ganis and the Doomguard, and the Void Caller. 2 of them. So that's gonna mean like 7 cards are gonna change, or 6. So that's a big change. Okay, so the changes from 1.0 to 1.1. I'm gonna kill 1 Mountain Giant, and kill the Void Caller, kill the other Twilight Drake, and kill the other Void Caller, which means Doomguard is bad, which means Mal'Ganis is bad. So we have 6 cards to add in now. That's it's okay, because there were all these cards that I wanted to throw in anyways. On the list of easy throw-ins would be Bane of Doom, which narrowly missed the cut. We put in Thaddeus. Nice that you can search for Thaddeus and just put both of those in. I want no Refreshment Vendor. Looks like there's a good amount of aggro out there, and 4 mana, 3/5, restore 4 health to both is good. Not to mention, I cut out. The big concern is I cut out Drake, Giant, Voidcaller, and Voidcaller, so that's 4 less 4-drops that I usually want to play on 4. But added in is Implosion, Refreshment Vendor, and good old Shredder. Shredder never loses. And one more card. I think for Secret Power I might just add in Ragnaros. Oh, look at that golden Ragnaros I opened up the other day. Glorious. The other card I want to consider is Siphon Soul. That makes a lot of the decks. The question is, are any of these cards less good than Siphon Soul? I mean, why put in Siphon Soul when you can just put in Ragnaros? Siphon Soul was a card that almost made it into normal Handlock. So you'd think if there were 30 unique cards, you'd put in Siphon Soul. Maybe it beats out Bane of Doom, but maybe it doesn't. It's also kind of a metagame call as well. There aren't that many cards out there that you need to Siphon Soul. Like, the only thing that's comes to mind right now is Malygos. I haven't seen... In all my games played yesterday, I did not see a single Ysera, which is the main target that you want to Siphon Soul. And, you know, there's Giants, but I actually didn't see very many Giants, if any. There's Dr. Boom, you want to Siphon Soul Dr. Boom, but when there's only one Dr. Boom, you can usually just kill it. Either with BGH or with some normal means. So the downside of running Fugue and Stalag is that you have to run Stalag, which is basically Salty Dog. Though Salty Dog gets a lot better if the Death Rattle is summoned 11/11.
Your soul shall be mine. I am your nightmare.
Is traditional Handlock dead? No. I mean, yesterday I was playing the blur between Handlock and Reno Jackson, where I played 2 of each, Giant, Drake, and Voidcaller, and Reno Jackson. And that was a better Reno deck against Control, but even better against Control is just normal Handlock still. Handlock will be back, I think.
So many possibilities.
It's not that clear whether or not to even include Mountain Giant in this deck, but if there is Mountain Giant in the deck, it allows you to just go the usual tap-tap Mountain Giant play. Which I kinda like. It's like without Mountain Giant in this hand, my opening would be really bad. If it's Drake, do I play Owl or do I play Giant? It's a 4/8, so I should play this. I don't have any good way of dealing 1 damage.
I've got the beast in my sight.
Oh, fantastic. Big swings from both sides. Speak of the Handlock. It's a Handlock. Or it's the mirror, and he got really lucky. So I can play a 4/9, which would just deal 4 damage to the Giant, and then maybe he has a coil. A 4/9 is better than a 4/8, it forces him to have the coil. Or I could Implosion. That's a tough call. I'm kind of happy he used an elf. I wonder if it's better to do that and push great damage on face, or if it's better to just hit it with the Giant, and then you save your owl for something more important. This is a little dangerous for him, because I could have Molten, but I don't. I think I have to play the Reno here. Unless I think he can't deal 4 damage to me. Nah, that would be ridiculous. Reno it is.
I wonder.
We're gonna be rich.
Okay, so with Demon Fire, Hellfire, deal 5 to everything. That would be enough. The Shredder isn't enough. I was thinking, did I misplay since the boombots could have possibly hit the Chow? No, it's right to send the Chow in first. Oof, that's a lot of cards. We're gonna get double hit. I think I need to tap over playing Dark Peddler. No, I need the Dark Peddler on the board to contest. Could get Abusive. That would be awesome. Abusive Sergeant. Get BGH. That Emperor Thaurissan is going to end up costing something like negative 14 mana. Roughly negative 12. Negative 13-ish. Power Overwhelming is on friendly minions.
I see.
There you go. Traditional Handlock. Classic. I'm not sure if that play is correct. By him there. He could have gotten another activation, but he was afraid of Shadow Flame. I know it was Handlock. With that high health, I wouldn't have done that. Nice. He hasn't played any AoE yet, so this into AoE might happen. Man, I haven't seen an Ancient Watcher in a while, because I haven't seen Handlock in a while. Alright, he did play his Owl. Sylvanas Shadow Flame is actually pretty good. Steals a 5/5. First I have to do this. Probably use this since I don't want to damage my own.
I have no time for games.
And I want to keep the Divine Shield because he has used 0 AoE. And most likely holds both AoE cards in his hand. He also most likely has both Moltons in hand. I'm going to play it real slow. He's probably going to have to play the Moltons on 9 mana. So the goal is to slow him down this turn. Make it so he can't do something too big on tempo. And then I get my Lord Draxus down first. I'm not going to attack this turn either into his face. Even with 8 on the board. I should simply continue to clear stuff.
My shield for Argon.
It's time.
Face Draxus, Eladon Lord of the Burning Legion.
Expect to see Molten soon. Both of them? I have to do this into this. He can only hit me for 8, and that's probably not going to be lethal. Fugan or Stalag? Is Stalag better?
I've got the beast in my sights.
Weapons ready.
5? 5 is... no, it's Doomguard. No, he doesn't run any Void Callers. I don't think he has 5. He's played both Dark Bombs. So I have to deal with whatever he plays fast. And if I can do that, I don't think he can ever do any more damage to me. He probably has 1 Hellfire in there. So all I have to do is not take 2 damage.
Shields up.
That's 2 damage, but I have an implosion for that. That's another 2 damage. But I drew that. Alright, I cannot take any damage, so I must not hit one with my face.
My shield! Put up!
Can see his mind working. He wanted to play those 2 in order to deal 2 plus exactly Hellfire, which is in his hand. So his hand is Hellfire and 2 cards. One might be Jiraxis, one might be the other thing. Earthen Ring, Farseer, Fugan. This is really good. I think I win. I just drag it out with Jiraxis.
You two masters.
Does he have another owl? I don't think he's the type to run 2 owl. Not that I can do anything to stop it. Oh, Jiraxis and then kill me. Maybe.
You face Jiraxis.
Nothing I can do about that. Rip. Oh, that was close.
I must protect the wild. Your soul shall be mine.
Something happened to Reynad today? The same thing that always happens to Reynad, right?
Elune, guide my lands.
He quit after not stealing something with Cabal when he had 6 minions on the board. I actually did that in the Dragon Priest run. I think I tried to do that with Doomsayer, if you guys remember. Like, I had 6 minions on my board, and I played Cabal Shadow Priest, and I targeted Doomsayer, but then the battle cry didn't go off. And I was really sad also. So, good to know I'm not the only one. I was like, I'm gonna counter Doomsayer with my full board with Cabal Shadow Priest, and then I lost. I have no answer to Dr. Boom. I guess I have this Salty Dog. Go, Salty Dog.
Stalag kill.
I actually have to consider whether or not to take the risk of the... So it's a 50-50 that it hits this, and then it's a 1 in 4 of the 50-50. It's 12.5% chance that if I Mortal Coil first, Stalag will die. That would be absolute disaster. You actually want the damage to go on me, right? Well, not really. Because I can't play Molten Giant.
Stalag kill.
So basically, 37.5% of the time, it will be better to Mortal Coil first. But 12.5% of the time, I am going to get crushed. Just worth thinking about. It's one of those things where wonder if I should have played Fugan instead. I should have played Fugan. There's no need for the taunt. Oops. It's one of those things worth thinking about because... is this silence?
Where shall I strike?
I think he was considering silence.
So many possibilities.
Another night on the prowl.
Oh, I do have the other taunt, so we're good. Could add in 2 damage if I wanted to lose some units.
My seal for Argon.
It's one of those turns where, like, I spend the entire turn knowing that I'm going to do Defender of Aggro Shadowflame, but I think there might be something better, so I wait. And then I spend the entire turn thinking, is there any play that is better than the one that I am considering? And I didn't find one.
Another night on the prowl.
Okay, so Force Savage kills me, but he only has 1 card in his hand. Though it is worth considering, what if he has one of Force or Savage? Is it better to taunt up here? But I can only taunt 1 card. So it's better to play this, and the next turn I win 100%. But don't I already win 100% of the time if I just taunt Mountain Giant? This is the part of the game where you might be able to increase your win rate by like a very small amount.
So many possibilities.
In fact,
Almost out of time.
I think this is best. So you play around the very small chance that he has exactly Force or Savage in his hand, and then he draws exactly Force or Savage. And your Ragnaros misses.
What to do?
Wow, it happened. What do you know? And now you win 100% of the time still. As opposed to like losing 50% of the time apparently. Somehow. And that is what I should have done against Jab. And I'll take the 50-50 for the win. Oh, never mind. I'll just always win. I mean, playing Ragnaros is pretty much an always win too. Since 1 card isn't enough to beat me.
Played.
But this is always a win. Very good. Style.
Where?
I will fight with honor.
Your soul shall be mine.
Alright, Demon Wrath is really good against the Secret Paladin decks. Also, just really good against Muster in general. It's like Fan of Knives, except you don't draw a card. Probably gonna go tap Giant. And if he plays a Repentance before then I'm really sad. Maybe I'll go Refreshment Vendor. If it looks like he plays a Secret at a weird time. Because if I were Secret Paladin and the opponent went tap, I would play a Secret on turn 3. I would do that.
Let me think.
Reporting for duty.
The first Secret is never Repentance though, because that would be dumb. thinking about the repentance guy. But I have already outthought you. You play any secret on this turn. I play the vendor. Oh, look at me! I'm so clever! He's playing Handlock! I'm going to totally get his Mountain Giant or Twilight Drake!
Funnel cakes! Get your funnel cakes here!
Wow, outsmarted. But I clearly cannot choose the line in front of me. Oh, now he plays the Repentance!
The light protects me.
Reporting for duty.
This sucks. Alright, do I want to play a tempo heal bot here? I actually don't know if the Repentance guy can even get avenged. Does it matter on order? Wow. I actually know very little about secret mechanics when you play them one-on-one like this. One by one. Okay, even if it's competitive spirit, though, I have the Demon Wrath, so it's all good. So I believe I do go tempo heal bot. Oh, right. One is probably Noble Sacrifice. Oh my gosh. Is that the one you just played? No, that was this one. Okay, that's the front one. And I'll play this. That's the Repentance. You played the Repentance the turn after my turn 4 play? What? Why are you so smart?
More cakes!
Did you plan for me to play around the Repentance on the first one, and then he plays the... That's insane. I'll never know how many levels he was thinking. But you would be able to tell if you, like, reviewed the hand and, like, what order... Like, maybe he drew the Repentance? I don't know. But that was insane. Like, the coil deals with the redemption afterwards is the thing. And I already have the AoE to kill the thing. So I don't think I coil. Because you always plan around turn 6 being... who am I? None of your business. And also, in the case that... Well, I wasn't even playing around BGH, but in the case that I Demon Wrath and then the Mortal Coil finishes off a 4-3. Oh my gosh. That's a lot of cards. Draw 7. My value. Good chance it's competitive, right? Since he had a lot of minions out. So if he gets a taunt, I would rather attack first. If he gets Sheep Doomsayer, well, only Sheep. Ghoul? Ghoul doesn't even matter, that's still a taunt. Wow. Ordering, boys.
We're gonna be rich!
Big Game Hunter is such a strange card to put in that deck. I mean, I guess he probably runs 2 abusives.
Put this apple on
It
your
might
head.
mean he runs no equalities.
Who am I? None of your business.
How many secrets? 1? Nice. So it has to be Avenge. No, it can be anything. He's played Avenge, Competitive Spirit, Noble Sacrifice, Repentance. The usual doubles are the Avenge and the Noble Sacrifice. Wait, which one was missing? Oh, Redemption. So it could be one of those 3. And then the other 2 secrets are in his hand. I don't know which 2 they are. Chances... Well, he would... No. No, this and Dr. Boom is always a pretty good play, though.
How much?
Okay, against Redemption, though, it would have been better to kill that first and then bomb that. So, it could have been... Oh my gosh, so many possibilities. When you only get 1 secret, you don't know which one it is. What a disaster.
Put this apple on your head.
Oh, I hope the punish happens.
Move quickly.
No Sniperina, the Rag, or the Boom. That's kind of unlucky for him.
Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty.
Uh-oh. Running out. Uh-oh. Alright, let's just gonna use the weapon.
Reporting for duty.
Not very lucky for him. Okay, so the last 2 secrets are Noble Sacrifice and Avenge. So that gets the Boom, the Doom. The Boom, Boom. That's an interesting one again. That dies, but first I have to check the Noble Sack. Well, I mean, it is Noble Sack.
Get down!
I had to draw the owl for Dr. A.
How much?
Getting more Jiraxis out will be really good. Haunted up. I don't know if that deck runs Equality, but since he runs BGH, he's less likely to run Equality. Warlock Knight's kind of unexpected.
Reporting for duty.
Strange deck. Well, not too strange. Zombie Chow's unexpected.
Move quickly.
You might not want to get Jiraxis on the board. Nah, I've got the 2-3. That always goes there, this always goes here. I play this and this.
For master.
Equality Consecration to Thaddeus. So we can get the Thaddeus. Is that good? Or do I not want the Thaddeus yet? Thaddeus or not to Thaddeus? I have 18, so he's 5 off of lethal. The 7-2 into 6-6 is definitely happening. And then the question is... Yeah, he probably can't deal with it.
Stalag kill. For master. Stalag kill. For master. Now you feel pain. Almost out of time.
My shield for Argon.
From the jungle.
I see you.
Well played. Into the breach. Well played.
Shields off. Red alert.
Ah, tickle.
You die now.